From Nutrien Ag Solutions, this is Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, April 11th, 2022. Checking in with temperatures here, we've seen another push of colder air come out of the north and the west over the last couple of days, and will gradually start to warm up slowly over the next 5 to 10 days. We look at the precipitation over the last week. We had a system here late last week that dropped a couple of corridors of precipitation here, a wintry mix to some accumulating snow along the Alberta-Saskatchewan border, and then another little corridor of heavier precipitation here across southern and eastern portions of Manitoba as that system kind of redeveloped off toward the south and to the east. Now, as we look at the satellite picture here, we'll watch the sun come up on Monday morning. This is the big system that we're watching right here. You can see the counterclockwise swirl there. The center of circulation here, making its way across the Pacific coast here into portions of the Pacific Northwest of the United States. It's going to then lift up to the north and to the east, producing a significant winter storm across southeastern Saskatchewan into central and southern Manitoba as we get into the next 48 hours. We'll look at the radar here as we get going on Monday morning. Pretty quiet across the prairie. Maybe some light flurries here in the Regina area over toward Brandon. But you see the heavier precipitation and the counterclockwise flow there, the circulation with the upper level low making its way in here across portions of the Pacific Northwest, just off to our south and to our west. Now, here's the NAM's take over the next 84 hours. We'll go ahead and step through time with this one. Again, a quiet Monday for us in most areas, quiet and cold. Probably going to be quiet Tuesday for most of us as well. The snow starts to push in from the south as we get into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening. This is what it would look like at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, according to the NAM. The storm really starting to wrap up here as we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday. Now, in addition to some very heavy snowfall rates Tuesday night into Wednesday, we're going to see some really strong northeasterly winds wrapping around this storm system as well. The area of low pressure right around here as we get into Wednesday morning. So again, strong flow coming around that, heavy snow, strong winds, likely looking at winter storm conditions here and a potentially highly disruptive storm across southeast Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba. We'll take all the drawings off here and continue to the end of this run. This is Wednesday evening now. The storm is still, full, going on as we get into Wednesday night and then even Thursday morning. It's starting to let up maybe as we get through the day on Thursday, but this is a long duration storm. Again, working its way in from the south as we get to the late part of the day on Tuesday, but then peaking Tuesday night, Wednesday, and then, continuing to be troublesome into the day Thursday and potentially into Friday morning as well. Total snow from this, the national blended model, we're looking at significant snowfall accumulation across southeast Saskatchewan into central and southern Manitoba. And we're talking about anywhere from 40 to 50 centimeters of snow here by the time we get to midday on Thursday, maybe some higher totals in there as well. And again, the heaviest snow across portions of southeast Saskatchewan into central and southern Manitoba. Unfortunately, across central and southern Alberta, getting into west central Saskatchewan, we're going to be missed by this one. Maybe some lighter snow flurries over the next couple of days, but the heavier, significant accumulating snow, we're seeing most of the models begin to agree on a path right through this region here from Montana into North Dakota, southeast Saskatchewan, central and southern Manitoba. Now here's the peak wind gusts forecast by the NAM model as well. Again, we're talking about 60, 70 kilometers per hour, maybe getting into the 80 to 85 kilometers per hour range here as we get into Wednesday as well. So heavy snowfall rates, very strong winds. We're talking about a disruptive storm across the region, a good old classic late season winter storm. We'll put the national blended model on the left, the European on the right. Good agreement here between most of our models, again, with the placement of the snow. Snow amounts are going to vary here just, depending on how long the snow falls, how quickly we're able to stack that up, but still looking at significant snow totals here, anywhere from 20 to 40 centimeters into the 40 and 50 centimeter range here in some of the higher spots as we get into Thursday and Friday. Now, as we take this out over the next 10 days, looking at the NAM model, we do see the opportunity for some snow across southern Alberta into southwest Saskatchewan because we keep this active pattern going and we potentially rearrange it in a way that's more favorable for us here across southern Alberta. I know we've been looking at waves of it being more favorable across the region and not really cashing in on that in large-scale fashion, but we just got to keep the chances in the forecast here. But take a look at the upper-level picture here over the next 10 days. This upper-level low just kind of spins overhead over the next 3 to 4 days. That's where we get that long-duration winter storm. Let me jump back. I accidentally clicked ahead there. So as this low, this upper level disturbance right here, remember we took a look at it with the satellite picture and the radar sitting off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. It dives in here across the Rockies before lifting back to the north and to the east as we get into Tuesday and now into Wednesday. This is when we're seeing the winter storm conditions peaking across southeast Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba as this low just spins away and begins to kind of cut itself off and mature as we get into Thursday and Friday. Look how long this takes. But then watch what happens as we get into Friday and Saturday. My iPad just died, so unfortunately I can't take the black arrow off or draw something that adds more context, but there's a bit of a lull here as we get into Friday, Saturday, Sunday behind the first storm, but here comes another wave. We keep this, upper level low in place up here such that we're still bringing waves in off the Pacific. So this would be one as we get into the weekend that could bring some snow to portions of the prairie here, southern Alberta, southwest Saskatchewan. Here comes another one. We just keep flinging waves in as we head into, this is the middle of next week, April 20th. So the pattern remains progressive, the pattern remains unblocked, and it remains active in such a way that we should continue to get these opportunities every few days. They're not all going to be like the big winter storm we're having this week, but we keep flinging opportunities for 5 to 15 millimeters of precipitation into the region here as we head into mid and late April. So here's your next 15 days, the precipitation forecast departure from average. Again, keeping opportunities in the forecast across the region. Of course, driest as you head further to the west, Alberta, it's going to be harder to come by with a lot of snow coming in the near term across southeast Saskatchewan, central and southern Manitoba. Now, temperatures over the next 2 weeks, again, we've seen a big shot of cold air. It's going to continue to be very cold where we accumulate a lot of snow over the next few days, but gradually as we head into the weekend and early next week, we'll start to slowly warm those temperatures up, and it almost looks like a staircase back to spring warmth here as we look at the next 10 days. Your temperature in Calgary slowly climbing from sub-zero here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, getting back above zero as we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, climbing back into the upper teens as we get into the middle of next week. Very similar look in the rest of our cities here. Edmonton, Saskatoon, and Regina, you're going to be colder for a little longer here. You're a little closer to that heavy snow there. And then as we get to Winnipeg, heavy snow on the ground. You're going to be on the cold side well into the weekend and likely beyond into early next week.